I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could take.
Hello, beauties. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, thank God. But I do apologize. I meant to reschedule the live that I had for 11 and I did it for the wrong one. So thank you guys for being patient with me during this scatterbrain of a month that I'm going through. But this is not going to be a long live stream. I do want to get you guys' thoughts on this case. I've had a few people ask me to cover this case, and it's very, very sad. It's very unfortunate, and it's so scary. Like, there's just so many. It's depressing. It's literally depressing. Everything that's going on, it's like, it's overwhelming. It's literally, it's like you can't trust anybody. So I'm just going to give you the specifics and a breakdown of this story and show you guys a couple of videos because it's pretty much, they already found the person who's done this. He has confessed to it. I just want to start off by saying my heart and prayers go out to Athena Strand and her family. I pray that they find some kind of peace and comfort during this difficult time. They will continue to be in my prayers, and I ask for all of you guys to pray for them as well, because it is, I can't imagine anything more devastating than losing a child. It defies everything against nature, and I, I have a 7-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's just devastating, devastating. And it's like with all the depression and things that are going on in this world, I think it's very important. And that's why it's important for me to build a strong community. And that's why I encourage you guys, like, if you're a part of my Facebook group, make sure you're talking in there. Anybody can talk at any time. You can put posts and talk to one another. Just because I may not be talking doesn't mean you can't, because I do want people to know that you can lean on others, including myself. So um it's just sad. It really is. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick breakdown of this case. And I think obviously there's a lesson to be learned, because we obviously want our kids to go outside and play and have fun, play with their friends. And of course, our kids are always, I know at least my kids are always mad at their father and stepfather, whatever, however you want to look at it, and myself for constantly staying on them. Where are you going? Like, even my 12-year-old, I want to walk down the street. They don't understand how dangerous it is. And it happens in a split second. We all want our kids to have fun, and live life. However, we can't help but be paranoid and constantly wondering and worrying. And the sad part about it is that moment, it only takes that one moment for you to possibly let your guard down, and something can happen, because it can happen to anybody. And that's the biggest dilemma, because if you're not worrying as a parent, then to me, you're not a good parent. I'm sorry. If you're the type of parent, every parent worries. If you're the type of parent that just does not worry and let your kid do whatever the fuck they want to do, go wherever the fuck they want to go, and not have a worry in the world, then you're doing something wrong. Okay. I don't want to say a bad parent. I take that back. You're doing something wrong. Every parent worries. Every parent um, wants to prevent their child from being hurt. They will take in all of that themselves if they have to. We don't want our children to get a broken heart. We want to protect our children. And you cannot go through life thinking these things won't happen to you. Nobody, nobody is invincible. Okay. Nobody is excluded from this type of thing happening. So I do think that it's very, very important that this is definitely a lesson that, unfortunately, no matter how much our kids say to us, why do you have, because they don't understand. I can't tell you how many times we have to have the same talk with our 12-year-old, our 7, well, he's going to be 7 in February, but our 7-year-old, he don't get it too much. But our 12-year-old, his friend lives down the street. He wants to walk there. No, I'm sorry. Like, that's just, he wants to walk to the school park. Now, I'm not going to say I haven't let him walk to the school park, but when he's walking to the school park, I'm on the phone with him while he's doing it. No matter how much our kids say to us, please, let me breathe, give me some room. I'll let you breathe a little bit, but I'm not going to let you breathe that much. When it comes to suffocating you and protecting you, which is a metaphor, of course, I'm going to do whatever it is that I have to do, because I know that anything can happen. Anything. It's good to see you guys all here. Hey, Gumby, Aesop, highly favored and blessed, Felony Melanie. Is it the Wilson Dallas? Sorry, that was like all together. Hey, the Amber Channel. How are you? Hey, Diane, Erie. It's good to see all of you guys here. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm gonna start off just giving you guys a little bit of a breakdown. I don't know everything about this case, but I know just the research that I've done. Okay, so 7-year-old Athena Strand. I can put her picture up here real quick. Let me just share my screen here. Such a cutie. What a beautiful little girl. This is just heartbreaking. Okay. Okay. So, Athena Strand, she was 7 years old. She's from Paradise, Texas. And on a Wednesday evening at 4:15 p.m., of course, Athena got off the bus. She got off the school bus and went home. Athena was staying with her father and stepmother at the time. Um, the father was actually at this time, he was on his way to um, a hunting trip. He goes deer hunting, so he was on his way on a hunting trip. However, the stepmother was there at home, of course. Now, according to the stepmother, at around 6 p.m., she and Athena got into a little bit of an argument. Excuse me. And Athena walked away. And I think she may have went outside. And so the stepmother just went to make dinner, probably gave her some time to cool off, maybe. Um, and then I guess during dinner or after dinner, she started to look for Athena, but Athena wasn't there. The stepmother spent the next hour looking for Athena before she finally decided to call 911 after looking for her for quite a bit of time, of course. Now, the report she needed to report Athena missing, obviously. And at that point, law enforcement got involved to help search for Athena. Now, at first, it was a search with an investigation, but it quickly became into an investigation with a search, which is completely different. People probably wouldn't think it is, which it sounds the same, but it's different. The great thing is that the community came together with hundreds of people, volunteers to help search for Athena. Now, during this initial search, canines were brought to the home of Athena's home, and they were only able to pick up her scent in the surrounding area and the perimeter of the home, but no further than that. Now, the police have stated that the parents have been very cooperative, and I think there were a lot of rumors going around. You know how people spread rumors and things like that. But the police have wanted to let everyone know that the parents were being very, very cooperative. And unfortunately, on December 2nd, around 11 p.m., it was the police had updated everyone, and it was confirmed that Athena was found, obviously unalive, less than 10 miles away from her home. And shortly after, a FedEx driver was then, excuse me, brought into custody, and he confessed to the abduction and murder of 7-year-old Athena Strand. So that's pretty much just a recap and an update on what I know so far. I mean, I know more than that, but I'm going to play you guys a couple of clips. Hold on, let me take this down here. Whoops, there we go. So I think there are some questions that I have because I think when the mother um, was cooking dinner, um, it really wasn't confirmed, like, did she storm out? I'm not sure what, because 'cause I'm not sure what could, not that it matters, but I have a 6-year-old. I Well, I guess I kinda do argue with my 6-year-old, but he's never, like, stormed off or anything. However, I have a little boy, and girls are more mature than boys are. Thank you for respectful commentary on, Athena. Some YouTubers, in particular sh really? So there's some YouTubers who haven't been respectful? And that's unfortunate. Like, you're gonna get that everywhere, though. People just don't, they it's all about, um, clicks and views, and who can get the most views, who can get the it's like, it's absolutely ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. They had a little argument. Okay. So let me pull up this article that I wanted to read to you guys really quickly here. Hold on, let me pull this up. Yeah, the fucking tragedy pimps who it's disgusting the way some people are so insensitive. And I have never had a kid leave the house before 14, but still you have to watch your babies. I agree. It's you know, I think it's more or less every child is different. And oh, of course, Ari, every child is different. And like, there's no way that my 6-year-old wouldn't even know where to go if he was to storm off. Like, he'd be totally lost. So he would never do that. But, I'm not gonna say that we aren't strict parents to a certain extent. Like, um, yes, he confessed ASAP, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. My I don't wanna say that we're strict, but we are very strict when it comes to, you know, them playing outside, where they go when they're outside, they have to be where we can see them at all times. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very much one of those paranoid moms, especially the more that you get into true crime. Um, I really do think that even this happening, and this is a FedEx driver, for goodness sakes, a FedEx driver. You know how many FedEx drivers are around on a daily basis? It's just it's so scary, and it hits so close to home, you know? Um, we were latchkey kids and sheltered. We couldn't do anything unless it was church or school related. We had to come straight home after school, come in the house when the street lights come on. Exactly. Exactly. Me too. I was very sheltered um throughout my whole entire life, even now I shelter myself. Like, it's sad that you have to be so, in in some aspects, scared of the world, because it just seems as though it gets worse, worse and worse and worse. It's just nothing but pain everywhere you turn. So, especially if you're an empath, those things really do affect you. So, let me pull up this article here so I can read to you guys what's in this article that I found. She's such a beautiful little girl. May she rest in paradise. Lord Jesus. Okay. Um, Hold on. Okay, let me make sure I'm reading for the in the first part. Okay, so FedEx driver Tanner Horner is believed to have kidnapped and Cade 7-year-old Athena Strand in a crime of opportunity while delivering a package outside her home this week, Wise County Sheriff Lane Aiken said. Although Athena's cause of death hasn't been determined, we do believe she passed away by his hand. Aiken said in an exclusive interview with the Fort Worth Star telegram, it does not appear that the child was carried by the FedEx truck, he said. Complete autopsy results from the medical examiner's office could take a couple of weeks, the sheriff said. Investigators believe Athena passed away within an hour of her abduction. Asked about Horner's motive for abducting the girl, Atkins said, "To me, it's a crime of opportunity." Authorities said Horner did not know Athena or her family. Athena had been missing for about 48 hours when her body was found along a water's edge of the Trinity River near Boyd on Friday evening. Horner confessed to the crime and told the authorities where to find her body, the sheriff said. Atkins said he doesn't expect further updates Saturday on the investigation, which is almost complete. Law enforcement is working on turning the case over to the prosecutors to formally file charges. Horner is expected to be charged by the state of Texas with capital murder of a person under 10 years old and aggravated kidnapping. He isn't expected to face federal charge. He isn't expected to face federal charges, though the FBI provided valuable assistance to the investigation, Atkins said. And Tanner Horner is 31, faces charges of capital murder of a person under 10 years old and aggravated kidnapping in the unalive of Athena Strand, whose body was found December 2nd, 2022 in Wise County, Texas. And he is now in Wise County Jail. Investigators have had conversations with the district's attorney's office about seeking the death penalty in this case, the sheriff said. Horner, 31, is from Fort Worth. He does not appear to have a prior criminal record in Tarrant or Wise counties. He remained in the Wise County Jail on Saturday with a bond set at $1.5 million. It's not clear if he has an attorney. FedEx issued a statement late Friday saying words cannot describe our shock and sorrow at the reports surrounding this tragic event. First and foremost, our thoughts are with the family during this most difficult time, and we continue to cooperate fully with the investigating authorities. At this time, any further questions should be directed to law enforcement. And there's another article that I want to read, but I just wanted you guys to see that. Now, here's what I will say. I don't care what the police say because I personally, yes, it may have been a crime of opportunity, but how do we know that he hasn't seen? He's a FedEx driver. Maybe he's delivered to their home before and he's watched her and he had his eye on her and probably always wanted to do something to her, but obviously never had the opportunity, which could mean it's premeditated. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of it's conflicting because he may have seen her before and was like, wow, but never had that opportunity. And then once he got the opportunity, he took advantage of that opportunity, which could mean obviously that he's a predator and it's premeditated because he could have just been waiting, to get that opportunity. They don't know if he has seen this precious baby before and had his eye on her. They don't know if he has went down the street before to see if he catches her by herself. It's so sad. Prayers for her and her family. Yes, I will continue to pray for them. He's a father of a young child too, correct? I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is. I read this morning that they will be seeking the death penalty. Okay. I don't believe him for some reason. If she was still talking, then he could have helped her instead. Who are you talking about Athena, Dylan? Have you looked at the newest news? How he said what he said about how he did it? No, I haven't. I'm going to pull up the latest news though in 1 second. You got an Amber Alert for her, Mama 6. I would never have thought twice of my child going to get a package from FedEx driver. The world is really changing. It is. It is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know how many times, like, I can tell you right now, I've had several times the same FedEx driver deliver packages to my house. So and he's never going to admit to it, but I'm saying that there could have been many of times that he went to the home and had his eye on her and just took advantage of that one opportunity where she was alone. Um, that he ran her over by accident and then decided, because she wasn't talking, that he got said she gonna get upset. Okay, that was his story at first. Mm, that's a lie. We all know that's a lie. So let me pull up the latest news here.
Taking, objection handling.
This is a story we're going to stay on top of here because we're learning new details into the nature of the killing of Athena Strand. We want to dive into this a little deeper with some more details, like I said, with Fox 4 Dallas reporter Dion Anglin, who's joining us from Dallas with the latest. Dion, thanks so much for being with us. What more do we know? Because we're learning, like I said, new details about the nature of Athena Strand's killing.
Yes, and that information comes after a court record or court document was released today. And the new details shed light on the investigation and, sadly, what is alleged to have happened to the 7-year-old girl. It comes just after you heard her mother and her attorney publicly vowing to hold accountable all who are responsible for her death.
Pink ribbons and balloons mark the area where 7-year-old Athena Strand's body was discovered, in the water just off County Road 4668 in Wise County. The suspect, Tanner Lynn Horner, guided Texas Rangers to the spot, where court records say he confessed to dumping the child after killing her. The arrest affidavit lays out much more, including what happened at Athena's home when he arrived there to deliver a package. When he was backing up in his FedEx truck, he accidentally hit Athena with the truck, but she was not seriously injured. The defendant stated he panicked and put Athena in the van. He went on to say when Athena told him she would tell her dad what happened, he strangled her with his bare hands in the back of the FedEx van. The records also explain why Athena's stepmother, who was home alone with her, was not immediately aware the child was outside. The stepmother was preparing dinner, and Athena was staying in a converted shed that served as the bedroom for her and her stepsister, next to the main home that is under renovation. The records also tell us Horner worked for a FedEx contractor called Big Topspin. And evidence from a video monitoring system inside the van shows Athena was still alive after she was struck. The driver and Athena inside the vehicle talking.
This is the package. It's the first time I'm seeing it.
The release of information just hours after the girl's mother held a news conference with her attorney. They displayed the package Horner is believed to have delivered to the home, a Christmas gift of Barbie dolls meant for Athena. The legal team is also conducting an independent investigation.
We will uncover every person who is responsible through their actions or inactions for the tragedy that happened.
I was robbed of watching her grow up by a man that everyone was supposed to be able to trust, to do just one simple task: deliver a Christmas present and leave.
Now, Athena's mother said at that news conference that tomorrow, Friday, will be the last time she's able to lay eyes on her little girl because she will be cremated. Meantime, Horner is still in custody behind bars in Wise County. Andrew, it's the very latest. Back to you.
You know, Dion, these new details just really make your stomach turn. If it wasn't awful and horrible enough, you're learning more from that affidavit that was filed, that court document. Do we expect to see him at all in court? Are we hearing from his attorneys at all?
Well, there is no information as to when he will make a court appearance, but we are definitely on the lookout for that information. The affidavit was, by all accounts, somewhat difficult to obtain as many days that went by, and we were really just continuing or efforting that document, but it finally became available for us, for the media today.
Dion Anglin, thanks so much, live for us in Dallas. We'll check in again if there are any more developments on this story. Thanks.
Athena Strand's accused killer, who was behind bars here at the Wise County Law Enforcement Center.
He's in a single cell by himself, just near booking.
Wise County Sheriff Layton Aiken has his deputies keeping a close eye on accused killer Tanner Horner. He expects to have the 31-year-old's case turned over to the district attorney by next week.
Because of the age of that child and then because it was an abduction. So we are going to pursue death penalty.
Horner's bond is $1.5 million set during a jail hearing after his arrest. In this video, investigators zeroed in on Horner, a contract driver for FedEx. The sheriff says he confessed to abducting Athena Strand while delivering a Christmas package to their home and later killing her. There are signs of how Wise County residents have honored the 7-year-old, like these items left on the courthouse steps. Their local newspaper, the Wise County Messenger, honored Athena with a front page spread. Sheriff Aiken believes Athena has touched so many lives through her unfortunate death.
I do believe in time, Wise County will return to some semblance of normal. We will always remember Athena.
After speaking publicly for the first time during a candlelight vigil, Athena's mother plans to go public with their family attorney this week, all while a community sends the message for Athena to rest in paradise.
Paradise was a community, 7.5 miles that way, paradise. That paradise, like this world, is fractured.
In Wise County, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
I'm going to be covering that case next, Demetrius. So, okay. His story is that he accidentally ran her over. She wasn't hurt or anything. He didn't run her over, but he hit her with his truck. And he put her in the truck because he didn't want her to tell, or because she said she was going to tell. That's when he strangled her. But here's the thing. I won't believe anything that he says until the autopsy report comes out, because that does not make any sense to me. Okay, so you hit her. Okay, maybe you panicked, but why would you ultimately unalive her for that? That doesn't make any sense. Now, of course, people are capable of doing anything, it's all allegedly. People are capable of doing anything. But at the same time, to me, I want to hear the autopsy report, because I just feel like that doesn't make any sense. I just feel like that there's a hole in that story. There's something that he's not telling. Why would you unalive a precious 7-year-old little baby? Because let's be real here, that's a baby. Why would you do something like that just because you hit her and you didn't cause any damage to her? So because she said she was going to tell her father, that's his story. It's allegedly, in my opinion, allegedly. It makes no sense, and I don't agree with that, and I will not believe anything that this ultimately piece of shit has to say until I see the autopsy report, because the autopsy report is not going to lie. I had a friend who worked for DirecTV, and he hit an old lady at Whataburger, and I'm not for sure, but I want to say she passed away. It was long ago, but he didn't get in any trouble, just fired. Right, because they have, insurance for all of that. You know what I mean? So to me, that just something about that story just doesn't sound right to me. When you are working for FedEx, they pay so much money in insurance because there are always chances that those types of things can happen. And so because you hit her, especially if nothing happened to her, you know what I'm saying? People can be sue happy and things like that. There's different scenarios that could have happened from that, but nothing ultimately would have happened to him. Okay. But the fact that, okay, you hit her, so then you abduct her, something about that story just doesn't sound right to me. So I feel like when the autopsy report comes out, that's when to me, he seems as though something's not right. Something ain't right. Who would hit someone, then be so scared he hit her, but not be scared to end her innocent life? Exactly, Ari. That does not make sense. Like, I can't believe that somebody would actually be that stupid, that idiotic, that dumb. Okay. Now, I don't put anything past the man, but no. He could have easily brought her to the door and said, "Hey, I'm sorry I accidentally hit her. She's okay." Of course, the parents will probably be mad or whatever, but ultimately, nothing would have happened to him. He may have gotten fired or something like that, but now you decide to unalive her, and you're possibly going to get the death penalty for that. To me, there's something not right about this story, and like I said, I'll wait for the autopsy report. Okay, there's one more video that I wanted to show you. Let me pull that up.
Heartbreaking end to a 2-day search for a missing 7-year-old girl. Late last night, we learned search crews found the body of little Athena Strand. Now, she was last seen just more than 48 hours earlier in the town of Paradise. That's in Wise County, west of Denton. Her entire community came together to find her, hoping for a different outcome. This is a difficult story, but here's what we know this morning. Police got a tip yesterday about Athena, and that, along with their own investigating, led them to 31-year-old Tanner Lynn Horner, the driver of that FedEx truck who was delivering a package to Athena's home. Now, he's now in custody, charged with abducting and killing the young girl. The sheriff's office says he confessed and told them where to find the body. Horner is being held on a $1.5 million bond.
It was a monumental task. And because of the cooperation, because of us working together, we were able to get the answers. Some of the answers were not the answers that we would have hoped that we would have gotten. It hurts our hearts to know that that child died. So much so that she is on her way now to the medical examiner's office. And there's a Texas Ranger in front of her, and there's a Texas Ranger behind her.
As you can imagine, the sheriff says Athena's family is angry and in utter disbelief. Now, this morning, FedEx shared this statement about the tragedy, saying, "Words cannot describe our shock and sorrow." The company offered condolences to the family and says it's cooperating fully with this investigation. Now, there are still a lot of questions about the suspect, why this happened, and how the community will honor Athena. We'll be working throughout the day to bring you those updates.
Keeping your pearly whites pearly white isn't easy, especially when your husband is the god of wine.
I've done it.
I'm good, Phoenix. Thank you for asking. I want to read this real quick. I'm sad for the stepmom who so many, including me, thought maybe she knew something at first. I'm so sorry for being judgmental, but this was a total shocker, and I don't believe it was an accident at all. But let me tell you something. I don't think that there's anything wrong with being suspicious of everyone. These days, you have to be, especially because she is a stepmother. Now, I'm not saying that a stepmother like my 12-year-old, the guy that I've been with for 8 years, that's his stepfather. He loves him just like his real father. And it's the same. He loves my 12-year-old like his own, treats my 12-year-old like his own. He brags about my 12. He loves my child like his own. But in some cases, like Letitia, whatever her last name is, and what she did to her stepson, like, you're automatically, I think at this time, with so many things that go on in this world, you're automatically just going to be suspicious of everyone. Everyone's going to be sus to you. Unfortunately, even the police, when something happens to children, the first people that the police look at is the family. Okay. They look at the mother, they look at the father, and then cancel them out and then continue on with their investigation. But they always look at the family first, because unfortunately, when children are abducted, and ultimately unalived and things like that, it's usually someone that's close to them, someone that they know. Okay. So people don't need to beat themselves too much. Don't need to be too hard on yourselves for thinking that it could have been the stepmother, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't think that it was. But what I will say is I did think that it was very suspicious how you just let and I feel bad for thinking this, because every child is different. And that's what I have to tell myself. Every child is different. Every parent and daughter relationship is different. Every parent and daughter, every parent and son relation, everything is different. Okay. So, and that's what I have to tell myself, because to me, I could never imagine my 6-year-old just taking off and getting into any kind of argument with him, because there's just no way. But like I said, I have to stop myself and try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I don't be too hard on yourself for that, because I really truly feel like that's something we always have to do. We're programmed to be like that. We're programmed to just be sus. Everyone's sus. Until they're canceled out and until we know for sure, you know, that they have nothing to do with it, we're going to automatically be suspicious of that person. So, and I truly think that with that whole case with Letitia and Gannon, I truly feel like that shook the world too. Like, how could you do that to your stepchild? Like, how could you do something like that? So we're automatically just going to think like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not at all blaming the stepmom. He's a piece of shit because he's responsible for her death. I just don't think it's smart to leave kids unattended no matter where you are. Exactly, especially at that age. Now, at some place right now, obviously, it is a very sensitive and tragic time, but people do have to take responsibility for their actions. And even though I'm sure she's beating herself up for this, at the same time, it was very concerning to me that she just let her take off. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't know what you could possibly argue about with a 7-year-old. But like I said, every parent and child relationship is different. There's different dynamics, and she's a little girl. And little girls can be drama queens and all that kind of stuff. So who knows what the little argument was about? But to me, I just don't see how she could just disappear like that. There's just no way that you shouldn't know where your 7-year-old little baby is at all times. That's the only thing that I would look at the mom and the stepmom and say, sweetheart, that's not a good thing that she took off like that. You didn't know where she was at, but it's not her fault. You know what I mean? It is the fact that you just can't trust anybody. You just cannot trust anybody, period. And all of these cases, with every case, it seriously makes you more and more scared um, of the world and of the monsters walking in it. You know what I'm saying? With every case that comes out, it makes us more suspicious of people. It makes us more aware. And I guess in a lot of ways it's a good thing, but in a lot of ways it's a bad thing, because we want our children to live their life and to have fun and to go out and play. But unfortunately, it can't be like that. Yes, you can let your kids go out and play, but you better be watching them, because you just never know. The fact they had a separate place to have their bedroom shows that they are very comfortable on their land. Exactly. Because it seems as though they had like a what did they say? Like almost like something attached to the house that was their bedroom or something, because they were doing like renovations and stuff like that. We live in a country. I wouldn't let my young child go outside at dark. There are coyotes around here. Yep. We have like so many things to worry about. You know what I mean? As parents, we just have so much to worry about with our kids, and they will never understand. They will never understand. And we have to come to that realization that our children are never going to understand why we are the way that they are, why we as parents are protected the way that we are. I've explained it to my 12-year-old so many times. I've lost count. His stepdad has explained it to him so many times. He's lost count. We've explained it together so many times. We both lost count. It doesn't matter. They will never, ever understand, because all they look at is, why are they doing this to me? Why are they so strict? Why are they keeping me from this, from that? And to be honest with you, I'll show him this story and it'll stick with him. He's 12 years old. It'll stick with him for maybe a couple weeks, and then it'll be back to, why won't you let me go here? Why won't you let me go there? It's to a point where we don't even allow, like, I have, people who I socialize with. My one friend who has a daughter, she won't let her daughter go to sleepovers. She won't let any of her daughter's friends sleep over her house. Okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. I used to always go to sleepovers. I used to always be at one of my best friend's house, and she would always be at my house. But it's not like that anymore. She's very protective, and she says, "I don't know who's going over, you know, my daughter's friend's house, who's running in and out of that house, and they don't know who's running in and out of my house." It's crazy. It's just it's sad. We live in Texas. Who knows what's around here, right? And it's funny because I enjoy, not everybody enjoys TikTok. I enjoy TikTok because a lot of people love TikTok for entertainment, and I like TikTok for entertainment, but one of the reasons why I like TikTok is because you will find so many I don't want to say channels because it's not like YouTube, but you will find so many pages on TikTok of people who actually are educated, police officers, FBI agents. That's why I love watching TikTok. You learn so much from watching TikTok in a lot of ways. If you want it, if you want your experience to be that way, that's how it'll be. And there was an FBI agent on TikTok, and she was talking about what she will not let her daughter do as a parent. And the main thing that she said was, as an FBI agent, I have seen too many times, I have been in so many investigations, part of so many investigations, where a parent will let their daughter or son, because you have to watch your son and your daughters. She said a parent will let their daughter or son go over to a sleepover. And I've seen too many things happen where the child was ultimately unalived, ultimately in violated in so many ways. And she wants to protect her child with that. And I get it. I understand it. And I'm the same way. I don't let my 12-year-old go to sleepovers at all. I just don't feel comfortable with it. And one of the reasons why she said she doesn't let her um her daughter's friends sleep over there is because you just never know what could happen as far as being accused of something that didn't happen. She's been a part of those type of investigations too, where you have to prove your innocence. So she's just, and it makes sense. It does. And she encourages all parents to be the same way. This story reminds me of what happens to the little boy, the 6-year-old Adam in the 80s, the guy who does it. Yeah. He was abducted from his mom in a store, found 2 weeks later, dismembered. The suspect confessed. Yes. Well, did the suspect confess? Because I thought they never found out who that was. There was somebody who confessed, right? But then didn't he later on deny that or something? I thought he denied that. I could be wrong, but yes. Yeah. She literally turned her back for probably not even a minute. And they took that little boy, that beautiful little boy, and I think it's great that it's absolutely amazing that his father did something with that to try to help find other missing kids. And I remember my mom telling me that story when I was younger, when my mom used to watch his show. And my mom used to be like all the time, this is what happened to his little boy. And when my mom told me that story when I was younger, of course, she didn't get into the graphic details, but she told me, I was just like, are you serious? Hi, TVZ. I was very, very shocked when she told me that story. And that story scared me at a very young age. So we haven't made it to that chapter yet, but I think you're right, Tia. I don't think Adam's killer was found. That's what I thought. I don't think there was somebody who confessed, don't get me wrong, but then they later found out that it wasn't him. because there was even a time when they were thinking that Jeffrey Dahmer had something to do with Adam Walsh being unalived. There's another story too. It is just so traumatizing, but it's a story that touches my heart so much that I'm going to cover, and I'm pretty sure this happened either in London, maybe Australia, but it was this was only like a 3-year-old little boy, you guys, and his mother, she turned her back on him for a second, and when she went and turned around, he was gone, and ultimately ended up finding him unalived. And it was on a railroad track. They found this little baby. He was just a baby, you guys. And it wasn't adults that ultimately did this to this little baby. They were kids that unalived this little baby boy. It is so sad, and I can't imagine how the mother feels till this day. And what's the saddest part is they were kids. So they're free now. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, what is this world coming to? I don't. Okay, sorry, I was reading something. Oh my stars, it's disgusting what's happening to our babies. It is. The UK justice system is terrible. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Like that goofy guy who claims to have unalived. Right. Right. And we still don't know to this day what happened to her. I've been, wanting to do a story, like, do a documentary on that whole thing too. I want to cover that case as well. Like, talk about a circus, like a media circus. Like, my goodness gracious, and we still don't know to this day. I don't know what this world is coming to, but I know where we're headed. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Like today, and I remember my boyfriend telling me about this too. There is a site, and I actually just seen it on TikTok today, you guys. There is a site that has human meat. I'm not even fucking joking. It's true. They have a site for human meat. Okay? It's absolutely like, and the girl that was covering this and that was talking about this on TikTok, she's like, "Lord, take me now. Like, I don't know what the fuck this world is coming to a point where they have a site for human meat." And they have, like, obviously, just like scan tickets on this site to where you can pick what type of human meat that you want. It's fucking crazy, you guys. I'm not making this up. It's real. And it's like, I'm laughing because it's like a crazy type laugh. Like, are you freaking serious? Yeah, and obviously there's more than one, because the one that my boyfriend's seen is completely different than the one that she showed. No, human meat. Human meat. I just saw a movie like that based on a true story. That people are abducting men, women, and children for their flesh. Yeah. And it's crazy. I will talk about it one day if you guys want me to. I probably will get demonetized, but that's okay. Yeah. promoting cannibalism now. That's mhm. And I will be talking about, but it's probably going to be a members only live stream, but I will be talking about Balenciaga too, because that's what I do, you guys. This is what I talk about. I talk about conspiracy theories. I talk about how um, the demonic things that happen in Hollywood. So I will definitely be talking about that sometime next week. But yeah, human meat. And I will literally show it to you guys if I saved it. Let me see here. I don't know if I saved the damn shit, but because sometimes I forget to save stuff on TikTok. It's crazy because I just seen it. I was literally like, are you freaking, like, you can't be serious. Of course, you know, like, okay, so it's called the Human Meat Project, you guys. That's what it's called. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. People think, no, you can't be serious, Tia. No, I'm serious. Oh, I did save it. Okay, I did save it.
I am never going to be the same again after finding out what I just found out. And after watching this video, you're never going to be the same either. Sorry about that. Have you all ever heard about this? The Human Meat Project? People for People? I thought this was a joke until I started digging some more and realized this is real and it gets worse. One body can feed up to 40 people. Together, we can end world starvation, overpopulation, and climate change. Why donate? Over time, the human population has increased rapidly across the globe, leading to a higher demand for food, especially meat products. With this increasing demand, land for residential areas has become more difficult to find, and emissions from farms have risen every year, making the lives we lead less sustainable. We believe that by donating bodies and/or organs, we can make a change by creating alternative meat consumption options while addressing the value of a person's body. Y'all, they have this end date where you can decide when you want to go in before you get harvested. What? I'm going to pause on this. Y'all read this. And here's some meat. What?
Let's read that. It says end date. Sometimes if a donor is fully committed to donating their body to the society, we can give them an end date service. For an end date service, a donor can choose any date they want to be harvested. End date services are our way of allowing donors to make important arrangements and have time to live their life up until the date they choose to be harvested. We advise meat donors to think carefully and discuss with their families before choosing a date. Oops.
Well, I am listed. Y'all, they have this end. Y'all.
Hold on. Over time, the human population has increased rapidly across the globe, leading to a higher demand for food, especially meat products. With this increasing demand, land for residential areas has become more difficult to find, and emissions from farms have risen every year, making the lives we lead less sustainable. We believe that by donating bodies and or organs, we can make a change by creating alternative meat consumption options while addressing the variables of a person's body. I'm thinking that's what they said because that's covered up.
Options while addressing the value of a person's body. What? Y'all, they have this end date where you can decide when you want to go in before you get harvested. What? I'm going to pause on this. Y'all read this. And here's some meat products that you can choose from. What? I can't. I literally can't. This can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. God, I'm ready to come home. Whenever, just any day now if you want. I'm ready. These people are crazy down here. They're crazy. I can't do this. This is it. This is crazy. Is that normal? Do you guys think that's normal? Human meat? What? So now cannibalism is normal? What? First they changed pedophilia to be minor attracted persons, and now cannibalism? Eating human meat? I can't. I'm done. That's it. Can't. What are y'all's thoughts on this?
So yeah, that is what this world is coming to. Okay. I'm not even joking. Like it's dangerous. There's so many things that I haven't even discussed yet that I do want to discuss about different things that happen that you wouldn't believe these things happen, but they do. And it's unfortunate that we have to be so protective of our kids, but I advise everyone to make sure that you don't ever let your guard down. You know, if you can help it, make sure you're always locking your doors. I don't care how safe of a neighborhood you think you live in. Make sure you're always watching your children. I don't care how old they are. You know, it's just obviously when they become adults, there's not much you can do but just be there for them. But as far as your children, you can't let your children out of your sight because so many things can happen. There are so many things that are being normalized in this world. And it's sad and it is unfortunate. My prayers are with this beautiful little baby. May she rest in paradise. And I just pray that her family finds peace. I pray that justice is served. And I pray that they get down to the bottom of what really happened because there is something about that story that doesn't seem right to me. Not, excuse me, not saying that I would put it past him. You know, he might have gotten scared and did that, but it still absolutely makes no fucking sense to me. I feel like there's more, and I will continue to keep you guys updated on this because, you know, it's definitely, I think it's a good thing that he confessed, because at least the parents don't have to sit around and wait for justice to be served because they already know he is ultimately going to pay the price for what he's done to this beautiful little girl. So I will keep you guys updated, especially on the autopsy report and what comes out with that. I could be wrong, but I just feel like there's something more. There's something, I feel like he did something. That's just my opinion. But yeah, there are so many things that are happening in this world that you would never believe. And like I said, that's not the only site that they are promoting this because my fiance literally showed me a few days prior to me seeing this one. And he's like, there is a site that is selling human meat. It's disgusting. It just makes you. And then if you guys really sit and think about it, and we'll talk about this another time too, some of the, I'm going to say, bigger serial killers loved animals. Okay. Ted Bundy loved animals. What is the other guy's name? He didn't, what the heck's his name? Hold on. It's like on the tip of my tongue. He didn't actually murder people. He had other people do it for him. He had like a cult. What the hell is his name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. Somebody put it in the comments. I know you know who the hell I'm talking about. I can't believe I can't think of his name. Yep, that's it. Mason. Yeah. He loved animals. As a matter of fact, Charles Manson. Yes. He loved animals. As a matter of fact, he used to all the time, one of his biggest quotes that Charles Manson has said, and I'm not going to say it verbatim because I don't know it verbatim, but one of his biggest quotes that had people baffled was he looked at humans like a human will sit there and talk about, you know, a serial killer, talk about murderers and how they go out and murder people, but then they'll sit there and eat their cow and not knowing, well, that cow was murdered for you to eat that cow. You know what I'm saying? So that was his way of looking at things. He loved animals more than humans. What's his name? John Wayne Gacy. He loves animals. You know, it's just crazy to me how people will literally sit there, and there are people in this world who would rather eat a human probably than an animal. And I'm not saying like I would love to become a vegetarian. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon, but I would love to become a vegetarian because I don't think that meat is necessarily good for you. Or maybe if you have it in moderation. Yeah, area. I love chicken, but I'm more of a steak person. But you have all of these serial killers who literally would murder a human, but would never ever touch an animal. You know, it just really makes you think about this world and how much this world is becoming desensitized, trying to desensitize people to even humans and eating human beings. Like, it tastes so good, but I wish I could do away with it for sure. Exactly. I love me some meat. I really do. But I personally, eventually I will stop though. I will. I don't know if I would stop eating like fish or seafood or something like that, but eventually steak, chicken, all that stuff, that's going to be canceled out because it's really not that great for you. I want some names, Tia. Names of what? The serial killers, Erie? Let me read some comments. He was a Looney Tune till the end. He sure was. He sure was. Jeffrey Dahmer actually, he wasn't like Charles Manson or Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy. He started off killing animals. So actually, he's the only one that didn't care about animals, to be honest with you. The majority of serial killers cherished animals, but couldn't stand humans. Um, Yes, justice for Athena. Take care of yourself and your loved ones more now than ever. Sad for her mama. My heart is hurting with her. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine it either. I couldn't imagine. Um, well, that I don't know. I would never. Let's put it this way. I don't think I've ever met anybody that eats human meat, but who the fuck knows? I mean, they say that throughout your life you have ran into many serial killers and didn't even fucking know it. So, but I don't know anybody who would ever do something like that I know of. But these are people that are just on sites and made a site that eats human meat. I have quite the perked interest in the minds of serial killers and why they do what they do. But seeing the stuff they do is hard as fuck and wears on you, in my opinion. It does. And I'm the same way. I have always been very, very interested in serial killers, especially when I went to college and started taking psychology classes. And, you know, when my professor would talk about the mind of a serial killer. One time he had us do research um, on serial killers in general, and it just made me very interested in why they do what they do. It just baffles me. It baffles me. And one of the biggest things that I realized about serial killers is that the majority of them love animals and they look at humans as the scum of the earth. And they look at humans like, oh, you think you're not a murderer, but you're sitting there eating a cow. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I took psychology class that was all about serial killers and loved that class. Yes, I loved psychology, but that's what made me get more into it because our professor, would have us research serial killers, and it just got me interested in why they do the things that they do. And it's what's sad is I don't think we're ever gonna know. I really don't. But at the end of the day, it's something very intriguing about that, about why somebody could be so heartless and have no soul, no empathy, no nothing. They lack it all. Who's worth Dahmer or Manson? I'm gonna say Dahmer, in my opinion. They're both crazy as hell, but in my opinion, I think Dahmer's pretty up there, hands down. Yeah, I think Dahmer was pretty. He was bad. He's just horrible. He's the devil himself, in my opinion. Manson too, but yeah, Dahmer is like, to me, I would compare. I don't know who I would think is the worst though. There's so many. There's so many. B2K killer gives me the creeps because he was just like that next door neighbor type. That's actually a good topic to talk about though too. All like the serial killers and how who people would think is worse. Uh there's so many. I think stepmother is never going to forgive herself. I do too. I do too. I don't think you would ever forgive yourself for something like that. You will sit there and beat yourself up over it. You're always going to sit there and think, I mean, how many times, if our child gets hurt or something like that, how many times do we sit there and say, I wish I would have never let him go, or I wish I would have followed my intuition and not let him go, or not let him talk to that person, or we always blame ourselves as parents. So my heart goes out to her, and she does have another child. So you just have to be careful and make sure that you're watching your child at all times, because you just never know what can happen. We just want to know what makes them tick, right? We use the Impossible Burger patties and they taste good to us. I even tricked my meat eater son. Couldn't believe he had no clue. Yeah, I've had people say to me, like, you can get steak that's vegetarian that tastes just like steak. You can get chicken, all kinds of, just everything. And literally it's vegetarian, obviously, but it tastes exactly the same. So we're getting there. We are going to, I can tell you that right now, because it's something that we all want to do, especially my fiance. Like he literally, he loves me, but he can't stand it. It's like a love-hate relationship. You know what I mean? He knows that meat technically really isn't good for you. He's one of those types that think that we as humans aren't even meant to eat meat. But that's his opinion, of course. I literally just think that I just don't want to eat meat forever. I don't. Let me see here. Hello, everyone. I'm late as usual, but wanted to drop in and say hello to the Glam fam. Thank you, Heather. Hello to you. And I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for making it. It's okay. I'm always late too, so you're good. Someone asked about Athena's bio mom, and FYI, she did speak on Athena to the public. Yes, she did. It's going to be hard, especially when you've eaten meat your whole life. However, I've eaten pork my whole life, and we cut pork out, and we haven't eaten pork in years. So I don't think it's going to be as hard as we think it's going to be, especially when there are so many alternatives out there that taste exactly the same as meat. So I stopped eating meat about 6 months ago. Well, good for you. We gave up meat after cancer. That's good. Yeah, definitely on the list of why I want to stop. They put, if you really even look at meat now, you guys, meat is just not the same anymore. It's pumped full of chemicals, full of steroids. You know, I just feel like I would feel, and my family would feel like completely different people, including myself, I feel like a different person if I just gave it up. I just don't think that meat is good anymore like it was back in the day. I haven't watched her press conference yet. Ari, did you watch it? Was it good? Let me see if I can find the press conference before I end this. Hold on.
Kidnapping and killing my innocent, free-spirited 7-year-old daughter on Friday, December 2nd. At the time of Athena's abduction, she was staying with her stepmother and father in Paradise, Texas, doing what kids do, playing within the bounds of her father's property on the same land he grew up and played on, the same land that for 20 or more years he, his siblings, and all of his friends had been safe. I was supposed to bring Athena back home to Oklahoma after Christmas break. Now instead, Athena will be cremated, and she will come home in an urn, because I'm not anywhere close to being ready to let my baby go. I'm sorry. I will never see her bright blue eyes or her ornery smile again. I will never be able to hear her say, "I love you, Mommy." I will never be able to do her hair again or to hold her while she sleeps. I was robbed of watching her grow up by a man that everyone was supposed to be able to trust, to do just one simple task: deliver a Christmas present and leave. Tomorrow will be the last time I get to see my baby. After tomorrow, when the silence sets in, Athena's family, including her 3 young sisters, will start the journey of all of the first without her. Her little sister's 3rd birthday, then my 27th birthday, our Christmas Eve tradition, the first time in 7 years of not hearing and seeing the excitement of Athena opening gifts from Santa and Sissy. I ask everyone to hold your littles just a little tighter for me. I want to take a moment to thank the community for the outpouring of love and support. From the moment Athena went missing, this community flew into action, and they have not stopped. I have felt your prayers, I have read your messages and your letters, and I see your pink everywhere. There are no words to express how thankful I am for the first responders, law enforcement and responding agencies, volunteers, churches, businesses, and all those I may have failed to list. I'm also grateful to the media for helping to keep Athena's story alive. I want everyone to know Athena. She was an amazing little girl who loved dancing, singing, and all animals: dogs, cats, horses, lizards, and chinchillas. She also loved school and all of her friends in the 1st grade who are now also struggling with her senseless murder. Athena also loved flowers, but she was also not afraid to get down in the mud with the boys. She was her father's daughter. I know that Athena's death will not be in vain. I will spend the rest of my life fighting for her so that no other family will endure such unbearable pain and grief. That a monster attempted to take Athena's voice, but we are her voice. Screening and hiring policies must be put into place so that monsters wearing delivery uniforms don't show up on our children's doorsteps. Please help keep Athena's light shining. Thank you.
Thank you once again for being here. I know you have a lot of questions. My goal today is to first thank the community for all the efforts that were made to look for Athena, to law enforcement, to the district attorney's office who have already been in communication with us and have offered their support and cooperation as we move forward. Thank you for being here to keep Athena's name alive and to help remember her for who she is. I'm going to set out some parameters for the questions that I'll be accepting, understanding that we are still in the investigation phase. I'm not going to comment on alleged facts or possible underlying facts, but I'm happy to answer general questions about where we are, what we're doing, what we hope to do moving forward. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
How do you plan on holding FedEx accountable for what happened to Athena?
We're investigating not just what FedEx's responsibility might have been, but anyone else who was involved in the decisions that were made that led to this tragic loss. By doing a thorough investigation, cooperating with law enforcement, we will uncover every person who was responsible through their actions or inactions for the tragedy that happened. I'm going to go here and then come here. I'm not going to, at this point, include or exclude anyone from being the possible target of a lawsuit. The ultimate goal here is to ensure that no parent or grandparent or family member feels the loss that Maitland's going through right now. That's our ultimate goal. So wherever that investigation takes us and whoever we find responsible are people that are going to have to face a reckoning. Yes, sir.
What are the steps of your investigation?
Well, we've been working around the clock since Maitland hired us on essentially Sunday night, Monday morning. I have an investigator here. He's here present with us today. He's from Wise County, and we're essentially leaving no stone unturned in looking at all the decisions that had to have happened before this tragedy occurred. I'm asking the community to contact us if they have pieces of information that might be helpful. So for example, if there's someone that worked at FedEx or with this contracting company, we would love to hear from you. If you're someone who knows the defendant, we would love to hear from you. On our website, which is versusinjury.com, we have a page which is /answers for Athena. And you can also reach us at answers for Athena at versusinjury.com with any leads that you might have. The main number to our law firm is 817-203-2220. And we are encouraging anyone who might have information, even if it's something that you might think is minor. You received a package that day from FedEx and you're a neighbor and you believed it was the same person who dropped off the package. We want to hear from you. There's no lead that's too small for us to look into.
Benson, have you heard from FedEx? Has the family heard from FedEx? And what has been said to them so far?
FedEx did reach out, of course, to offer their condolences. It was a pretty preliminary conversation. Any further conversation, of course, will be through our office.
I know you mentioned working with somebody in Wise County. How closely are you working with the Sheriff's Office, the Department of Public Safety, the FBI, to get the answers you're looking for?
We've already talked to a number of different individuals. Everyone has been, first of all, thrilled that my law firm is here because they know what we bring to the table and what we will bring to bear for the parties who are involved with this. All of them have offered their support, including the district attorney's office, including the sheriff's office. I've talked to a federal agent who is part of the investigation. So we will be working with and have experience working with everyone who was involved with this investigation. And we are absolutely thankful for the work that they've done so far.
Yesterday, the sheriff told me that you plan to that. What was your personal reaction to that?
I'm not at all surprised. That's what this community demands. You know, when you have the loss of a young child of innocence, this community is not going to accept anything less than that. So I wholeheartedly agree with the decision that's being made. And I'm sure the district attorney was involved with that. It's a huge commitment to say that you're seeking the death penalty. It's not a small undertaking. So they are doing what this community wants. And it is undoubtedly appreciated by everyone in this community and certainly Maitland and the family.
Benson, can you elaborate more on
law enforcement consults with the victim's family about seeking the death penalty? Did that happen in this case?
So the district attorney's office has been communicating through us and has reached out. They are also being very mindful that Maitland is in the middle of a mourning period. So they are doing everything that they can to both be respectful, but also to respect both the wishes of the family as well as the community.
Benson, can you comment more about this package? So this is the exact package that was dropped off. This is not considered a piece of evidence that the Wise County Sheriff's Department needs to have or anything like that?
This is the exact package that was dropped off. And these Barbies were intended for Athena. This was going to be part of her Christmas present. That's the very box that was dropped off at the doorstep. And as you ask yourself, is that a piece of evidence? I can certainly tell you this is not a fingerprint case. Okay, this is not a case where law enforcement needs that box to prove their case or pull anything from it.
Are you saying
Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is to wash your face. Now, I personally...
The autopsy report has not been released yet, so I don't. And as far as with the suing, I think it's going to take a couple weeks for the autopsy report to come out. As far as with the suing, I don't know if they're suing FedEx or if they're suing the contracted company, or it could be the insurance company, like Felony Melanie. It could possibly be the insurance company. I feel like that makes more sense, but they might talk about that. We'll watch a little bit more of this for like a minute or two, and he might talk about that during this, but I'm not sure who exactly they are suing.
Well, I'm not going to comment on what I understand the facts to be or what the alleged facts might be. I can tell you this is the package that was delivered to the residence on the date that she was abducted.
Vincent, obviously this is a huge civil liability. How soon, or is there a timeline on when you might take civil action at all?
Maitland's goal and my goal ultimately is to affect change. We don't want another family to feel this kind of loss. So we're going to look for anyone who might be responsible. We're not in a rush. Okay. As we investigate, we put people that we think might be responsible on notice, and those letters have already started going out to say things like, you have to preserve the evidence related to this investigation. But we are not in a rush to file a lawsuit. We want a thorough investigation to be completed. We are part of that investigation. We conduct our own independent investigation. And ultimately, wherever that investigation leads us, if it leads us to seek filing a lawsuit to affect the change that we hope to affect, then that's what we're going to do.
How many legal notices has your office?
We have sent out 3 notices so far. I'd rather not just yet.
What's next?
Our investigation continues. We have a list of witnesses we hope to speak to. We have a thorough plan for our investigation moving forward. But I anticipate, particularly after this press conference, that we're going to get more leads. And we're going to want to follow up on all of those leads to complete, again, a very thorough investigation. We'll also be working closely with law enforcement and certainly the district attorney's office to make sure we have everything that we need to know. And of course, it's a two-way street. Anything we learn that might be beneficial to them, we're certainly going to share with them. Other questions?
Say and spell your name.
Certainly. Benson Varghese. First name is Benson. Last name is Varghese. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We also have copies of Athena's statement this morning. If you needed it to pull quotes from, we'd be happy to hand that out.
Wow. And that little Barbie set was so cute. Like, to lose a child right before the holidays. Oh my Lord Jesus. Like, I could not imagine. I just couldn't imagine. So my heart and prayers are with the family and will continue to be with the family. I will continue to keep you guys updated on this case. Any press conferences or anything like that, I will be on here. It's just so sad and it's devastating. It's horrific. And I'm going to say I truly believe that there's more to it. I think he's lying about the way everything happened. However, we really won't know anything until the autopsy report is out. And I will try to be the first on here to tell you guys when the autopsy report does come out. Now, I could be wrong. You know, it could be exactly what he said. It's very hard for me to believe that there's somebody out there that can be that idiotic to do something like that, to ultimately take a baby's life over an accident. Accidents happen all the time. She wasn't hurt. The story just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make any sense. And I tend to feel that when a story doesn't add up, it doesn't add up because there's something that person isn't telling. So autopsy reports don't lie, though. And I can't wait till that comes out. allegedly he dated underage girls. He probably did. Like, it's just something, he seems like, I don't know, like a predator to me. And like I said, I stand corrected, and I could be wrong. It could have just been an accident. But at the end of the day, why would you take a life over an accident? Did you think that worse would have happened to you if you would have just went and took her to her home and said, I accidentally hit her, she's fine, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you got sued, lost your job. Oh, well, you could have found another job. But now you're ultimately might get the death penalty over something that was an accident. Make it make sense. It just seems very unbelievable. And I can't wait till the autopsy report comes out. But I love you guys very, very much. Thank you for being here. Sorry about the confusion. I will be on here tomorrow. If not tomorrow, on Sunday. If not Friday, definitely on Saturday. We're going to be talking about Megamouth and a reality TV show that she was on. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. There is going to be a members only live sometime this week or next week too. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be two, the Valenciaga, and then there's also going to be one where I want to talk about, and the reason why I'm not going to have it public is because of the things that I'm going to be talking about. But I don't know if you guys know, but Nick Carter is being accused of SA again. And I'm just curious to know if that person who harassed, and bullied and shamed Melissa Schumann, for coming out and saying that she was SA'd, is she going to do the same thing to this person? I wonder. So that's why I want that to be a members only live stream, because of the things that I'm going to be talking about. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. Remember, if you're in my members only group, you can talk, you can post things. I might do a get ready on there tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. But support one another, because this is a hard time for a lot of people, not just myself. And if you, like I told you guys, if you see unscheduled live stream, things like that, you guys know why. And I appreciate you guys being so amazing. Remember how beautiful you are. Remember how blessed you are. Give someone a compliment tomorrow. Whenever you see somebody, give them a compliment. You never know how you can change their entire day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can email me anytime. I'm always around. Hold on, wait a minute. I have to take that off. Okay. All right. Love y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Yes, hit the like button on the way out. Thank you for joining me on True Crime Thursdays. If there's ever a case that you want me to discuss and do commentary on and talk about, you can email me. I'll be happy to do that case for you. And like I said, I will keep you updated on this particular case that I covered tonight. And please keep the family in your prayers. I feel so bad. Christmas is the time to be with your loved ones, and they are going to be grieving. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So please keep them in your prayers, and rest in peace to that beautiful little girl, Athena Strand. Okay. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Deuces. Love y'all. Bye. Hold on. Let me bring that up. Okay. Bye. Love y'all.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing.